Hey everyone, welcome back. This time we're playing some Legacy. It's been a while since I posted a Legacy video. I was busy with Pioneer and Modern and basically every other format for various tournaments that I had to play them for. But now we're back to my first love, my true love, which is Legacy. And something has happened in Legacy since the last time I really got to play it, and it's Underworld Breach. This card is pretty close to Yawgmoth's Will, which is a card that is banned in every format it's legal in and restricted in Vintage. This does a pretty good impression of being Yawgmoth's Will. So there's this new Storm deck in Legacy that a lot of smart people think that something's going to get banned out of, but let's play it while we can. So the namesake card here, Underworld Breach, each non-land card in your graveyard has escape. The escape cost is equal to its mana cost plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. And then at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Underworld Breach. So for one turn, you can cast spells out of your graveyard, and those spells cost their mana cost plus exiling 3 other cards. So that combos pretty nicely with Lion's Eye Diamond and Brain Freeze. So Lion's Eye Diamond, you get 3 mana, but you have to discard your hand. So if you can cast your hand from your graveyard, then you don't care that you had to discard your hand, and this is just straight up Black Lotus. Brain Freeze, target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard, and it has Storm. So if you play Underworld Breach, Lion's Eye Diamond, Brain Freeze yourself, that's 9 cards right there. And then you can play some of those cards, and then Brain Freeze for another 21, 24, 30, 60. How far do you want to go? And then when you don't have a deck anymore, Thassa's Oracle wins the game. You could also mini Brain Freeze your opponent if you don't think they have a way to shuffle their graveyard back into their deck or anything. You could just mill them out and pass the turn, and then they die. Some cool things that Max is doing that I haven't seen in other lists. He has Teferi Time Raveler. I've seen Defense Grid in other decks. Teferi is just, I think, a better card than Defense Grid. Certainly more exciting. I'm into Teferi. And Savine's Reclamation is awesome. So return target permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this spell was cast from the graveyard, you may copy the spell and choose a new target for the copy. So on the surface, this is like the 5th Underworld Breach. So you can Thought Scour and Brain Freeze yourself with Reckless Abandon because you have a way to cast Breach from your graveyard already. However, if this is flashed back, you can get like Breach and Teferi, or like Breach and Lion's Eye Diamond, like really get this party started. Important to note, this gains escape when you have a Breach in play too, so you can pay 3 mana for 2 permanents out of your graveyard instead of 5, because escape is getting cast from the graveyard, and Savine's Reclamation doesn't say if it was flashed back, it says if it was cast from the graveyard. So Savine can get nasty in this deck. Your protection, you have 4 Force of Wills and 2 Orum's Chance and Pact of Negation. And then out of the sideboard, I really like this. You have a bunch of creatures, Monastery Mentor, and extra land. Like you can pivot into this deck capable of attacking to win the game. And you all know me, I love myself a Monastery Mentor. So I think I said this is Max's list, but I forgot to introduce Max. This is Max Gilmore. He is one half of the Min-Max Legacy blog. That's sweet content if you haven't checked it out. Follow Max. He's always posting magic stuff, hot takes, and hot lists. So check out Max and Min-Max. Now that the plugs have been plugged, let's go play Magic. Alright, so we're here for round 1. We're on the draw. This deck doesn't need a lot of lands, but it does need 1. So I'm going to ship that. This one is significantly more keepable. I'm going to bottom the Tundra because I hate losing to Wasteland, especially in my combo decks. It's possible banning one of these Brain Freezes would have been better, but I'm willing to take that risk. Alright, so I'm going to fetch for an island and cast my Ponder. Our opponent has Scalding Tarn in play, which doesn't mean much. This could be the Mirror, could be Delver, could be Miracles, could be Show and Tell, could be almost anything. Alright, so the Ponder found another cantrip and some protection for later. The Orm's Chant will be pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely now regretting bottoming Tundra instead of the redundant Brain Freeze. That was definitely just a mistake. Uh-oh. I think they're going to sneak something into play. Yep, there's the sneak attack. Alright. Maybe our hand with no lands and several Force of Wills would have been pretty good. Creatures can't attack this turn. I don't have double white, would have beating. Alright, so I'm gonna just... This is just like a small... Like, I've already lost this game. What I'm doing right now is just pretending I'm Miracles for a turn. Let's see. Emrakul. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get annihilated here. I'll go to 4. I mean, we might be able to win this game still, if they just brick for a little while. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, so... I could play the Lion's Eye Diamond. No, I can't. Never mind. I was gonna say I could make double white Norm's Chant, but I have to discard it. Never mind. So if they have a second monster, we're just dead. If they don't have a second monster or a counter spell and we draw a land, we can win. They shuffled. Are we doing it? Oh, yeah, they had a Spirit Guide. Alright, yeah, we're dead. Alright, so let's hope that they think we're just a blue control deck. Preordain is kind of shady. Like, if they're really paying attention, Miracles decks don't play Preordain. But let's hope they're not really paying attention. Alright, so Lightning Bolt is not a good card in this matchup. Honestly, we don't have very many good cards in this matchup. Lavinia could be pretty good against them. They do want to go fast. Like, this stops their Lotus Petals. They can, Ancient Tomb basically counters Ancient Tomb. Like, Ancient Tomb just taps for 1 with Lavinia in play, because she denies them jumping the curve. Yeah, there's not a lot going on here. And maybe there doesn't need to be. Intuition might be a little slow for this one. Teferi is very good against Show and Tell decks. I'll bring a Brazen Borrower too, like in case I have to bounce some random thing. That also lets me pass and still make plays. We're not going to be able to Brain Freeze them because they have Emrakul in their deck, but Brain Freezing me sounds pretty good. Alright, let's try it like this. This is most of what I want. So you're literally witnessing the first matches I've ever played with this deck. I am figuring this out with you on the line. So I don't know if I'm supposed to mulligan for broken or just like keep medium hands. 4 lands is too many though. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright. I'm pretty into this. I can turn 1 Lavinia. I'm gonna keep this. I think Pactum Negation is probably the bottom. Because I'm obviously not going to pact if they force a will my Lavinia. And I can fetch non-basics against this deck pretty safely. Pretty sure I want Tundra. Alright, let's look at the deck. I have Breach. I'm holding 2 white cards. I'm also holding a Breach. I'm definitely getting one of the duels. I have basically only Chance and Teferi as white cards. I am going to get the Valk, actually. Alright, let's hope we win the game on the spot. They're going to have to counter this if they can. Alright. Or I guess they could just like land Lightning Bolt, but let's hope they don't have that. Please cast Lotus Petal. Please cast Lotus Petal. This card's pretty sweet. I played a lot of this card in Vintage. It never really took off in Legacy, but it's definitely powerful when it's in play. Generally, Legacy decks are better at removing creatures from play than Vintage decks are. Alright, they top that Preordain. That's scary. Alright, Ponder, save me. Alright, that was a pretty good Ponder. Alright, so this lets me Teferi. I should stop auto-yielding. I've been playing a lot of Pioneer, where you just get to F6 on every opponent's turn because there's nothing to bluff. But I am a Force of Will deck playing against a combo deck, so I should probably not just F6 with Wild Abandon. Right, they did not shuffle again. I'm going to attack first. If they have a Red Blast, they might want to like save 2 damage. Alright, so now I'm pretty sure I just want an island. Alright, so they can Spell Pierce or Red Blast here. They still can't Force of Will. Alright, Teferi is in. I'm gonna plus right now because if they show and tell, I want to be able to bounce the thing they put in. They can't sneak attack this turn unless they remove Lavinia first. Alright, they're just frantically cantripping. Alright, so land number 3 is here. Show and tell is live. Wasn't really looking for a second breach. I am really looking for a brain freeze though. Okay, so I'm gonna bottom Thassa's Oracle, top brain freeze. Now the question is, who's going to cast more spells, them or me? Like, I could mill myself for 6 right now, or I could pass, hope they spend a turn cantripping again. Right, I'm going to attack first, because that's going to happen regardless. Alright, so I'm going to plus. We can lose to Simian Spirit Guide here. Like, if they have land, sneak attack, or I guess also Ancient Tomb, sneak attack, because they'll have 4 mana, 4 lands to cast, and then that's the mana they need also. So let's hope we don't get sneaked upon. If they give me one more turn of just cantripping here, I'm gonna win. Like if they cast like 2 spells and pass. Okay. Alright, so they can show and tell the sneak attack and then sneak a monster in. Alright, that's countered. Oh, no, it's not. Good job, Lavinia. You didn't do anything. Alright, my opponent's playing a lot better than I am. Alright, so if I show and tell Underworld Breach, is there a way I can win in response to what they're doing? Like, I'm not... Let's consult the list. So, if I put in Underworld Breach off show and tell, I don't have double white for Orm's Chant. I don't have any way to get double white at instant speed. Yeah, I don't think I can win in response. Alright, so they're probably going to put in sneak attack and then just win the game. Okay, so I'm not going to put anything in. Oh, Omniscience, that's so much worse. Alright, that can't be countered anyway. We also had sneak attack. Wow, Lavinia is so useless against Veil of Summer. Holy shit. Alright, so I'm going to lose all my everything to this attack. I could brain freeze now. I don't think it's getting better. But I don't think I have any draws either. Yeah, I would need like a lot more going on than this. Alright, yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, that Veil of Summer, that's also a good card. So I don't think I could have gone for it any faster than I did. Like I found the brain freeze on that last turn where they had everything going on. Yep. Oh well. We just got beat by a more a combo deck that went off first, basically. Alright, it's round 2. We're on the draw. I'm gonna keep this. It's got cantrips, some protection, half the combo. Alright, a Volcanic Island strategy. Alright, again, could be the mirror, sneak and show, Delver. Could be many things. Alright, Force of Will is a nice one. I'm gonna get a basic island because I'm a coward. I know Teferi's in my hand. But I really don't want to lose to Wasteland. Okay, what does this do? Do I win? So next turn I can Thought Scour, Breach, LED, and then I can Thought Scour for some mini value. I think this is great. Alright, top, and I can do all that with Force of Will backup. Alright, I'm in. So like Thought Scour is like a mini brain freeze. It puts 2 cards in your graveyard and draws a card. So like that's 3 more cards to escape it again. So every blue you have is basically just like go again until you try to find brain freeze. Alright, the force will pitch to fairy if I need to force. Bloodstained Mire, huh? That card is not usually in fair decks. So I'm thinking we're in the mirror at this point. Alright, here's this card, this card, this card. And this card. Alright, all of my spells just resolved. That's good news. Blue, and I'm gonna scour. Another LED. I'll cast that also. Alright, let's make some blue mana. Scour, removing land, Teferi, Force of Will. We're just looking for a brain freeze. If we find that, we win. Let's go again. One. I don't need 3 LEDs to execute this combo. I don't need 2 preordains either. Alright. Because these don't exile when you cast them. Oh, hello, brain freeze. Nice to see you. Alright, so I can replay this Lotus Petal and then have Pactum Negation backup for my brain for the rest of the game. Or I could just crack this LED and YOLO it. It's probably safe either way. I'm going to go for the Petal though. Don't need another Breach. 1, 2, 3. Alright, then this should end the game. I guess I can pack that on my graveyard too. Wow, this deck's broken. Like, I should have just cracked the LED. Alright. So Thassa's Oracle's in the bin now. We have Brain Freezes going nuts. Alright, so... Alright, and they scooped it up. As they should. The win is on board. Alright, sweet. That was nice. Alright, so I suspect that we are in the mirror, or at least some Storm deck based on their Bloodstained Mire. So I'm going to bring in Surgical Extraction and Lavinia. Teferi is probably not going to be necessary. I don't imagine we're going to do a whole lot of interacting with each other. Lightning Bolt, unless they have their own Lavinias, Lightning Bolt's not going to do much. Oh, maybe Teferi's just secretly insane, because that'll stop their surgicals. They can't Orm's Chant me mid-combat, or mid-combo. There probably won't be much combat in this matchup. So maybe Teferi's great. Maybe Intuition is a little slow. And what else don't I want here? Savine's Reclamation. That's for when things get grindy, which I don't think they will, but I can see a world where I like let them combo a little bit, Orm's Chant them, and then Brain Freeze myself and untap and win. And I would need Reclamation for that. Maybe I should just bring in one Mentor in case I get Surgical Extraction. Like just have some kind of backup plan. I'm pretty confident that I want all my interaction, which is these cards. Beyond that, like, can you cut a Brain Freeze? Is that an insane thing to do? Maybe I don't need both Teferis. Alright, I'm gonna try it like this. Yeah, I'm sure there are like sideboard guides and people. I know Max has streamed this deck a bunch of times, so like there's resources you can find if you want people with more reps than me to tell you about the sideboard plan. But I am going off my intuition, trying to figure it out myself here. My intuition says this hand is bad. I only need one land. Like, with one land, I would keep this hand. But there's no way to get this breach into play right now. Like, I think this is a turn 1 win with a land. Like, if I just go like land, petal, breach, diamond, crack it, freeze myself. Like, that is literally a turn 1 win. Maybe I should keep this. How many lands are in this deck? 16. 16 lands out of 53 cards in my deck. That's not a good hit rate. And it's not like Lotus Petal, Brainstorm makes mana in any meaningful way. Alright, I'll mulligan. Bummer. Oh, this is the same hand, but worse. Yeah, the basic plains is kind of bummer. I'm gonna keep this though, and I'm gonna ship the like having this part of the combo, Force of Will available. I think that I have to ship. Maybe it's just Lavinia. Or maybe it's LED. Maybe it's one of the combo pieces and I need to hope to find blue mana. Because even if I draw Island, that doesn't cast Breach. I need Volcanic Island specifically to function in this game. Alright, I'm gonna be a control deck. I'll bottom LED. And let's hope they actually are combo. If they're like a real fair deck, we're in so much trouble. Alright, another 3 mana spell I can't cast, just what I'm looking for. Uh-oh. Okay, confirmed they are a combo deck. Let's see what they're doing with all this mana. Oh, a Bayou. They are a different combo deck than me. Wishclaw Talisman. Okay. Ooh. So I could jam Lavinia and have Force of Will backup, or I could pass with Orum's Chant and Force of Will. I think jamming Lavinia is better. They only have 1 land. Like, there's not a whole lot of spells they can cast on the earth. I guess I have to watch out for the Veil of Summer, which got me last game. My Brainstorm's always a welcome addition to any hand. Okay, that's a lot of cards. So I'm gonna put Breach back because it's not doing anything for me. And I'm gonna put Preordain on top. And I'm gonna put Ponder on top because I'd rather cast Ponder and pitch Preordain if it comes to that. Alright, so now I have 2 Force of Wills and Orum's Chant and Lavinia in play, so we're pretty well set up to not lose right away. I just gotta watch out for like a bunch of goblins coming into play, but they have to answer Lavinia before they can even think about that. Alright, lots of cantrips. The 3rd land. They're getting close to being able to tendrils or goblin me. Just fair and square with all the lands that they have. Alright, so we know one of these cards is Breach. I'm very interested in more lands, though. Alright, so I got the land. I can get Tundra now. Then I'm gonna preordain this. No, what am I looking for? So I need Breach and Brainstorm and LED to go off. So I'm pretty far from going off. I'm gonna ponder. I don't think I actually want that. Yeah, that just dirtles around for too long, and these storm decks know how to navigate counter spells. Like I'm one Cabal Therapy away from having nothing. Burning Wish, huh? At some point I should counter a spell. Just honestly though. Is that point now though? Alright. I'll let them do this. That might kill me, I don't know. If they wish for Cabal Therapy. Wish for Grape Shot. Alright, so Lavinia's getting Grape Shot. Or maybe not. Alright, double Orange Chant now. Alright, so I can preordain pretty freely now. Alright, there's Brain Freeze. Is that something I'm interested in? Yes, but not yet. So I think I'm just going to respond to literally anything they cast with Orim's Chant. Okay, so they're just drawing a card here. That's allowed. Alright, so any spell they cast, I'm going to respond with Orim's Chant, because I want them to like invest in this Grape Shot a little bit before I shut it down. Well played. They're probably just building Storm. Alright, you don't get any more spells right now. Alright, so there's my Brain Freeze. This Wishclaw Talisman has been pretty exciting. Alright, so Dark Ritual. I could chant them in response to this too. Nah. If they want to spend a third card to answer Lavinia, I think I'm okay with that. But if they cast any other spell, I can chant that. Burning Wish. This looks like a good time to chant. Alright, so they have 41 cards in their deck, so brain freezing them is not really on the table. Okay, Burning Wish resolves. This might be insane, but here we are. Thoughtseize. Alright, so they're going to Thoughtseize me. I'm going to Orim's Chant in response. Alright, so they're going after Lavinia here. Alright, so is it time to chant, I guess, is the question. Yeah, I'll chant here. Like, while Lavinia's still in play, in case they have, like, some 4-mana free spell. I'm willing to believe I've played this whole game terribly, but it's been a weird one for sure. So I'm going to brainstorm in the end step, try to find Breach, and then win. Alright, found LED and Surgical Extraction. So Surgical could be good just to see what they're up to. Did I board out Savine's Reclamation? Pretty sure I did. Yeah, alright. I can't just, like, fire off a Brain Freeze for 18 cards on myself right now. I could do it to them, and then just extract whatever I need to. That could be pretty funny. Alright, I don't think I need land number 4. And I do want 2 Force of Wills. This LED is such a tease. Like, I think I need that. Alright, maybe I don't need Teferi. Alright, so I think I want to Brain Freeze them right now. Just put 18 cards in their graveyard. See if we can get them with a Surgical. And right now they're chanted, so they can't even respond. Alright, so we milled a Thoughtseize, and we know there's one in their hand. So Surgical is good for at least a card here out of their hand. Let's see what we hit. Alright, so 2 Thoughtseizes, Brainstorm. We didn't hit any Tutors. They have one sitting in play already, the Wishclaw Talisman. Alright, we did not draw Breach. So I'm going to stop in their draw step and Surgical Extract Thoughtseize. Veil of Summer doesn't stop this. It does draw a card in response, though. So during the course of this game, I've seen every combo piece, and I put the Breach back in my deck at some point. I'm willing to believe that I should have been doing something different. Alright, this is kind of awkward because they have Wishclaw Talisman, the Force of Will, or alright. I'm gonna hardcast a Force here. I probably lost. This Talisman has been sitting in play forever and will eventually, like, it could, like, right now just find whatever they need to win. Alright. They're probably wishing for another Veil of Summer in response. But if they wish for Veil in response, oh, they're wishing for Brainstorm. Okay. Alright, so that's going to take the Thoughtseize out of their hand. However, if they don't win this turn, I'm going to win on my turn, because I can just Talisman for Breach. Guess we'll see what they're up to. And this is the draw step, so they don't have a draw coming. Oh god, what's happening? This Dark Ritual is still in the draw step. Alright. What's left in your hand? Are we dead? Alright, so they have Ritual and Ad Nauseam, so we are almost certainly dead. I guess they need to... They're going to have to Ad Nauseam. Alright, so we know there's Thoughtseize on top of their deck. What's still in their deck? So they're going to have to Ad Nause into one of their Lotus Petals to win, which shouldn't be hard to do. They're at 10 life, and their whole deck costs 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so they have a million outs here. I think I'm actually not going to take the Thoughtseizes out of their deck. Because I need them... I need them to brick on this Ad Nauseam. Okay, I'm just not going to take anything. Alright. I forgot to check if they have any fetchable lands left. They probably know better than I do. If they have a fetchable land, they win. Alright, they didn't have one. There's the petal. So their hand is Burning Wish plus these cards. I mean, they could, like, Veil of Summer right now to draw a card, cash in their petal. But what are they looking for if they do that? I guess they could pop their LEDs in response. Yeah, and hope to draw something. Alright. Alright, they're in YOLO mode. Alright, I guess, yeah, alright. Managed to navigate that one. That was a sweet game. I'm glad that was recorded. So I think in that game I should have been working more actively towards assembling my own combo. Like I just put up this big counter wall and then I didn't even really use it effectively to protect my win condition in Lavinia. Like I think if I took the line I did, then I need to be more aggressive about with my Orm's chance and stuff to make sure that Grape Shot can't clear Lavinia. Alright, on the draw again. I'm gonna keep this. I have a cantrip, disruption, half the combo. Alright, could be the mirror again. Jeskai colors with Preordain in the main deck. It feels kind of combo-y. Alright. There's that. Alright, I'm gonna get Volcanic Island and just hope they aren't Delver. Well, there's everything. Top, top, top. I can't win right now, but I can definitely win next turn. Alright, so we have a Force of Will they have to get through. Let's hope that we don't lose right now. Maybe they'll cast Defense Grid and pass the turn. That would be sick. Yeah, so now we're just in like the hope this is good enough phase. Because like if they have like Force of Will and Orm's Chant, like they need two things to survive here. I'll play Tundra, Lotus Petal. That just lets me play around days, even though I don't think I'm gonna have to. Alright, Breach. Right, if they're gonna interact with me, this is the time. And I think my first force is gonna pitch Preordain, and then I can force pitch Brain Freeze if I have to, even though I really don't want to, and then I can like ponder a bunch of times. Alright, there's LED. Alright, how do I navigate this? If I discard my hand, I won't have 5 mana to force. I don't think that matters though. I could just load up my graveyard for next turn. Alright, blue, 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 blue. Brain freeze myself. Yeah, so Force of Will doesn't work anymore for them. Like that's just not a disruptive card they can have, but Orm's Chant does still work. Okay, and there it is. So I don't have a Brainstorm to get a blue card into my hand for this Force. I guess I can't pay alt cost anyway, because Escape is an alt cost. Alright, yeah, that doesn't matter. Alright, they found the spot. That's fine. I'm going to load up my bin and hope that I hit Savine's Reclamation, I guess. I'm not sure how I could have navigated that differently. Like, I needed them to play worse, basically. Alright, so now what I have to do is just find another breach. And survive this turn. Like, they have to not kill me right now, and then I have to find another breach. It's pretty nuts that Orm's Chant is just like a Veil of Summer and also a win the game card. Or like stop them from winning the game and win you the game. Alright, so they had Orm's Chant and the whole combo. What is my opponent saying right now? Test lag? What does that mean? Okay, so they have the Brain Freeze. They have their whole combo here and I have nothing. I don't think it's possible to whiff, so I'm going to concede this game. Alright, so the mirror is a complete crapshoot. Maybe I should have been more patient. If I had one more mana, I could have played the first Brain Freeze and had Force of Will still up. And then I could have started spewing out of my graveyard without cracking LED. I don't know. Alright, so Intuition's too slow. Teferi's pretty great. I don't think I want Lightning Bolt. Even though I'm bringing in things that can get Lightning Bolted. Pretty sure I don't want them to have Lightning Bolt. Or I don't want it against them. Pact of Negation would have won me that game. So do I want to just bring in my small disruptive elements and still be a combo deck? Or do I want to bring in my mentors so when we're dancing around each other's combo I can still win somehow? So if I do bring in these mentors, I think Teferi is one of the cuts, and maybe like Brain Freeze might be the other. Because if I have a different win con and we're going to be fighting on that axis, then maybe just sidestepping it entirely is a better plan. I'll try this. Alright, so we're on the play. I have a hand with some cantrips and a bunch of combo pieces and some protection from dying, so I'm going to keep this. So basically what I'm looking for is another land and Orm's Chant. That's what I want. Out of these 3 cantrips, I think we can manage it. Force of Will, Lotus Petal. That's not quite what I wanted. I mean, Force of Will is pretty good, but no, I want actual factual lands. Alright, there's one. Yeah, like the Force of Will didn't really line up well with my Lion's Eye Diamond game plan, which should not be surprising to people who have played Magic before with those 2 cards. Alright, sweet. Azorius Renegade is in hand. Alright, I don't need 4 lands, and Prismatic Vista, I think. No, Vista is better than the 3rd fetch, like normal fetch, because I only have 2 duels anyway, and then everything's basic. So one of these is an easy putback. Then do I want to get on the Thassa's Oracle beatdown plan? Probably not. Alright. Though, it's there if I want it. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Pioneer, and the Thassa's Oracle just as like a 2-mana 1/3 that scries 2. Like that's not too bad, honestly. Maybe I will draw the Oracle. Because if Oracle can set up, like my devotion will be 3, and unless they brought in their Swords to Plowshares, like a complete maniac. Alright, so they either just drew this island for the Ponder, or they have Orm's Chant, and they played Plains first. Because like you'd rather Ponder on turn 1 than just play Plains Go. So they drew one of these cards, or they were just protecting themselves with Orm's Chant. And if they have Orm's Chant and took that line, that means they don't also have Force of Will. And my opponent seems to be struggling with some connectivity issues. Hopefully they're able to play the game. Alright, so my opponent confirmed in chat they are struggling with lag. Alright, I'm not actually going to draw this Thassa's Oracle. I thought about it while my opponent was lagging and reconnecting. And yeah, that's just not a card I want. Alright, so another Brainstorm is juicy. So I can Brainstorm and try to win. It's probably a good plan. Or at least try to find like a Force of Will or something. Alright, Teferi is not bad. Or maybe it is. Alright, maybe Teferi is bad. I've talked myself into it. Alright, I'm gonna put back Brainstorm and Teferi. Then I'm gonna cast Lavinia. So they can't combo while Lavinia's in play. We'll see what answers to her they have in their deck. In every list plays answers to Lavinia, it's just which ones they have and did they bring them in. Like, do they have the Swords to Plowshares here? I certainly didn't bring in removal. I actually cut the removal I did have, so let's see if they're on a similar plan to that, or if they're just cold to this. Maybe they'll just jam Mentor on their turn and we're dead. Yep, there it is. All right, we were on the same page with that one at least. All right, let's brainstorm. Okay, so I don't need 2 lands, that's for sure. And I don't think I need surgical extraction anymore. They've played this whole game like they have Orm's Chant though, and I really don't want to lose to it. All right, so I'm gonna ponder looking for Force of Will. If I find it, I'm pretty sure I just win. Come on, Force of Will. Thought Scour, Preordain. I'm gonna shuffle. All right, none of these are Force of Will. All right, I can Preordain another time. Okay, so ship that, draw this, Preordain again. Bottom, top. I could ponder now or just wait a turn. I'll wait. All right, so they could make a bunch of monks and then we can just win anyway. So we'll see what happens. My shields are down. If they just have the combo also. And they'd have to answer Lavinia first, but that was weird. They didn't want the extra damage. And you attack before you play your brainstorm to like see if I'll want to trade with it, but obviously I don't because I just lose my card for no reason to any instant. But once I don't block, I think you want to get the extra damage. That's the alternative is if you just know I'm not going to block anyway because I'm not crazy, then you should just cantrip before combat and attack for your 7 or whatever instead of 2. I think I like that better. Like there's no universe where I'm blocking, so just get your beats in. Alright, come on, Force of Will. Savine's Reclamation. That plays. Like if they do Orm's Chant me, I can Reclamation next turn and win. Alright, so is that true? Am I going to get it next turn? I guess is the important part. So the Reclamation is there, and I know it's there. I could just dig for Force of Will again. I cut the pact, unfortunately. I am going to shuffle. Rewarded. Never didn't have it. Alright, so do they have Chant and another card? They can't force because I have Lavinia. Alright, I'll cast LED now because I can respond to an Orm's Chant with Brain Freeze. Normally Lavinia is pretty good at stopping Lotus Petal also, but that's just not the case right now because they actually have black mana. Alright, let's hope they can't beat one Force of Will. Alright, so figuring out the lines here. So if they let Brain Freeze resolve and wait for me to crack my LED to chant, oh, they're tearing. Okay, that's also a thing they can do. All right, stack your monks. All right, so I can Force of Will here, and I guess I just have to hope that's good enough. What are my alternatives? No, I think that's just the play. I worked so hard to get this Force of Will. Just hope they don't have a Red Blast or Orm's Chant to fight over this. Oh no, they had the Orm's Chant also. What a nightmare. Okay, so I can brainstorm in response a bunch of times. All right, so let's make blue, blue, blue. Brainstorm. All right, so we need to find Force of Will and a blue card off of all the stuff, or I could just find another Breach. Am I dead to the board, though? So they have 5 attackers. If they have 2 spells, I'm dead. No, they need 3 spells. Okay, I'll put back these 2. Guess I could just keep brainstorming. What is it? What's the risk reward to brainstorming versus not brainstorming? It's getting deeper and deeper here. All right, so if I found an Orange Chant of my own. That's nice. So do I have a way to cast it? I can't get this Lotus Petal into play. I guess I'm about to load up my whole graveyard with Brain Freezes too. So Exile Force, Ponder, and one of these other Brainstorms. All right, so put these on top. They're about to get milled. All right, I can't cast any more spells. All right, so Lavinia's on blocking duty, and let's hope I'm not dead. They need 3 spells to kill me. It's okay, they're just a storm deck. But blocking with Lavinia unlocks Force of Will from there as a play they can make. Surgical Extraction, my Breach. Oh my god, alright. Now we're very dead. Oh wait, no, it got countered by Lavinia. Alright. Unfortunately, they just need 1 spell off this Preordain. They topped a card, we're dead. Yep, alright. Okay, so we got beat in the mirror. We had a similar sideboard plan where we also brought in the mentors, but they drew one and we didn't. And we were both pretty good at keeping each other from comboing. So maybe I should lean more heavily into the sideboard juke there and just be a mentor deck. Alright, we're on the draw. I'm gonna keep. This hand is pretty combo-y. The Cavern. Naming Sliver, oh no. Alright, please let's beat the Sliver deck. I imagine Unsettled Mariner is a difficult card for me to fight through though. Alright, let's find a Brain Freeze and win the game. How about that? Neither of these are Brain Freeze. Preordain could look for it a little more. That's probably worth keeping. Maybe I didn't need to keep that because there's already one in the graveyard. Crystalline Sliver. Alright, I did not plan on targeting any of your creatures, don't worry. Normally I play decks where Crystalline Sliver is unbeatable, so it's kind of nice that I can ignore it. Alright, so I have Thought Scour. Does that win the game? I'm certainly going to go for it. I can Thought Scour a large number of times with my infinite mana here. Just gotta hope they're not also a Force of Will Sliver deck. I discard my hand. Thought Scour target me. Vista, the redundant Preordain, and the redundant LED can go. Looking for a Brainstorm. Or Brain Freeze. Brain something. Right. Redundant Breach, Tarn, and redundant LED. Alright, there's a Brainstorm. Alright, I'll play this Lotus Petal. Alright, so if I Thought Scour again, I have to exile all my other cantrips unless I bust this LED now to feed the graveyard. I can't exile this LED now. I get rid of Ponder and Brainstorm. Force of Will, Orm's Chant. I'll cast Preordain from my hand. Alright. We've done it, I hope. Alright, I'll make white and cast Orm's Chant. Just in case they have Force of Will in their deck. Okay, now we win. Unless they can violin something. Alright, that was pretty smooth. Just beating up on the goofy creature deck. Okay, so goofy creature decks probably have goofy creature answers to my combo. I don't think you can rely on Rest in Peace in a deck with Sliver Hive and Cavern of Souls in it. So I think I want my Plows. Never not Mentor. Just always bring in Mentor. Always take out Intuition. I don't know if that's right, but it's what I'm into. I'm upgrading my bolts into Plows. I don't think I need all 5 of this effect. Also, I'm not convinced they're going to have spells. Oh wait, no. Force of Will is a much worse card than Orm's Chant in these sort of matchups. Pact Negation is probably the worst of all. So I'll have some Force of Wills in. Maybe I do just want the Pact to protect on combo turn. Or the Bolt. Like maybe I do just want to play fair. They showed me Aether Vial at the very least, so they could have ley lines. But Brazen Borrower I'd rather have against ley lines. Alright, this is my plan. Alright, so we're on the draw with a hand with no combo pieces, no protection, just lots of cantrips. I'm gonna keep this, though I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Alright, them having leyline make me happy I didn't mulligan. Alright, so I can... This is probably a wasteland deck. Most, like, dopey, hateful creature decks are. Force of Will, is that a card I want? I definitely want this extra blue source. I don't think I want Force, I'm off it. I want Mentor, that's what I want. We're just digging for a Monastery Mentor at this point. It is in my deck. I have one Brazen Borrower that can bounce the leyline. Glad I didn't keep that Force of Will, my goodness. Swords to Plowshares. Alright, so Brainstorm is actually pretty reasonable here. Even if I don't find a fetch, I can Thought Scour myself to get rid of the top cards I don't want. Alright, but I did find a fetch, so I can just put Breach in the deck, and I'm gonna ship this basic mountain also. And I can fetch planes and get rid of this Muscle Sliver if I have to. I probably just will. Like, I don't know what other sliver they would cast that I'd be more worried about. Flying and haste. Is flying and haste worse for me than +1/+1? It's possible that that's true. Yeah, I mean, haste is pretty good. Alright, yeah. I think the hasty one is a bigger problem than the muscly one. Alright, Mentor off the top. Bummer. Orm's Chant, Savine's Reclamation, Flooded Strand. I have never seen 3 worse cards in my life. Alright, Swords to Plowshares, I'll take that. I'm gonna ponder here. These are the same cards. Alright, Orm's Chant. So Orm's Chant isn't textless in this matchup because it does have the creatures can't attack mode on it, the flavor text. So if I get double white and I have the Scalding Tarn for Tundra, I can do that. I'm going to take 2 rather than just snap off a plow on this random creature. Like if they're saving their better creature for post-combat, I'd rather hit that. And if they're not, alright, Unsettled Mariner. Yeah, let's just get rid of Muscle Sliver. And now I have to do it now because Mariner will make it uncastable. So now Orm's Chant costs white, 1 if I want to do everything. Oh god, Thought Scouring them costs an extra mana now too. Alright, fine. I don't want to Thought Scour myself. Like, I don't think they have any graveyard interaction, but I don't want to be just like spewing my cards into the bin. Alright, so I can't Orm's Chant this turn. Also, that Thought Scour you is a small step on the way to just milling them out with Brain Freeze. Though I can't really do that with Unsettled Mariner in play. Alright, Predator. Alright, this is getting worse. The chant is a nice little fallback, but I'm gonna need something pretty quick. I would definitely rather have Mentor in play when I cast my chant. All slivers have Shroud. Alright, can't stop that. Pay 2 life, return it to your hand. Okay. Mentor, one-time dealer. Nope. That's definitely not a mentor. Alright, so I'll stop in their upkeep and chant them. With kicker, white, white, then I'll pay the troll toll. Alright, so they can't cast spells or attack. Why would they do that? Oh, that's pretty nice. Well played. Alright, so Force of Will deck confirmed. Alright, so I do want my answers to Leyline in. At least some number of them. I like Brazen Borrower because it's an answer to Leyline, and it's also a backup threat. So Force of Will is only good against their Force of Will, but Orm's Chant is better against more things than that. Alright, I think I can... Alright, Savine's Reclamation's pretty bad if they're a fast deck with Leyline. I don't think I'm going to be able to grind into a slow breach. I still am not convinced I want Lightning Bolt. Teferi might just be real bad. That I am totally willing to believe. Alright, so I have 4 removal spells, a couple points of interaction, a reasonable backup plan. I like this. On the play, I'll keep it, I guess. I'm not excited about it. But it has protection, cantrips. We just gotta find the combo net. We need Breach and LED. Oh dear. Alright, now we need Mentor. Alright, send that straight to the bottom, keep the Ponder. So I get to see a lot of cards next turn in my hunt for Monastery Mentor. And Brain Freeze is basically a free pitch to Force of Will. Uthas's Oracle beat down. Alright, so I don't really need Lotus Petal. And Orm's Chant might be past its prime here. Would I rather have Force or Orm's Chant, basically, is the question. Probably Force. I'll get Tundra here. Like, if they spend a turn wastelanding me, they made it clear that they don't like have plays to make right now. Based on the 5-card hand they kept. Oh dear. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Alright, I'm definitely jamming Thassa's Oracle next turn if I don't draw Mentor. Alright, so they kept a hand that doesn't do anything. because it had double ley line. Alright, beatdown plan begins now. Show me the mentor. I'm not going to put either of these cards on the top of my deck. That is optional to do. Enlightening Bolt might have been fine, but like it's not reasonable to think I'm going to beat this like hyper synergistic linear attacking deck with my Thassa's Oracle. I do need to find Mentor. Pretty close to hardcasting this force though. That's pretty nice. Alright, they're moving to discard. Our plan is working. So worth noting, if they did anything at all this game, we'd be dead. And I'm very glad that they didn't. Okay, so I don't need a second. How reasonable is it to deck them fair and square? So Force of Will, I want to keep. So if I go like LED, LED, Plow, Brainstorm, or Brain Freeze, Brain Freeze, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 12, and the next one's 15, that's 27, and that's like slightly more than half their deck. That's not a real plan. All right. Yeah, so I'll put back LED and I think basic planes. I'm going to keep the double brain freeze though, because in case there is a world where I pivot to milling them out, I'm going to need them. Oh no, we're dead. So we know they have 7 spells in their hand because they haven't cast any yet this game. Alright, is this worth a Force of Will? Like I have the Swords to Plowshares, and I don't have any other way to remove the slivers once they start pouring into play. Ugh. Alright, you know what? Forget it. Just digging for that mentor. Show me mentor. Nope, nope. Nope. This is getting bad, team. Pretty sure I can hardcast Force. I think there are exactly enough lands in my deck to do that. Yeah, there's 4 basics. 1, 2, 3, 4. None are milled or gone. Any? Alright. I think we're good. Alright, time to hardcast Force of Will. I wonder if they'll force me back here. Maybe that was terrible. Maybe I needed that force to protect my mentor. Oh god, have I punted? Okay, now I have 2 answers to 2 ley lines and Brain Freeze. Okay, so Swords to Plowshares no longer has text in this matchup. Thought Scour is mostly... Alright, so I can put LED on top. Again, where I can tear plus bounce plus scour them. Or I probably want to scour myself. So put back plow and scour. And then I'll pass the turn. Hopefully they just cast Aether Vial this turn and give me the maximum wear tear. Uh-oh, they can attack now. Alright, not blocking. Alright, tear this up. Bounce this one. I think if they have Force of Will, this is the time. Alright, so I'm going to play like they don't have Force now, because I think that would have been it. Thought Scour myself. Let's just draw Breach and win. Alright, we're still alive. Bottom, bottom. Still alive. Bottom, bottom. Orm's Chant. And I tap my white. Great. Okay. Savine's Reclamation got boarded out, I'm quite sure. Yes. Maybe I should just never cut that card. I've just regretted it every time. Alright, I think I should save Orm's Chant. Like, I could have just done it now to make sure I only take 3 this turn. I'm pretty sure I want to save it for a turn where I can stop combat. Alright, so I'm taking 7 right now. I can block now that... Alright. Yeah, now that Leyline's gone, I can actually block and put my Oracle in the graveyard, and that's fine. It was not fine in the past. Breach. Ponder for Breach. Nope. Breach. Ugh. Alright, so I'm gonna chant them in their upkeep. Let's see if they've been slow rolling a Force of Will on me. Alright, they have not. My opponent's tapping mana. I can't imagine why. Alright, Brazen Bee, get in there. So brazen, Fairy Borrow. Breach. Ugh. Alright, so can I mill them out? I'm sure I can't. Maybe I should have forced this. Like if my Plow and Bolt had worked. Alright, so 1, 2, 9 plus 12. I can get 22 cards off their deck. And maybe you should just never cut Savine's Reclamation. Like, I'm pretty sure I can win this game if I have Savine's Reclamation, because I can go Petal, LED, mill myself for 9, then mill myself for 12, mill myself for 21, and I would have the mana to reclaim because of the fast mana. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and still 5 left over. Yeah, that definitely sideboarding this out was a punt. Okay, we're dead. Lost to Slivers. Yeah, and I feel like we got a little unlucky there. I mean, we did bury like 3 or 4 breaches that game, and then desperately need them when a Ponder just happened to produce 2 ways to answer, or a Brainstorm produce 2 ways to answer ley lines. But like, I think it's smarter to dig for Mentor, but we cast like 10 cantrips in each of those games, game 2 and game 3, and Monastery Mentor would have won the game on the spot in either game. So just not finding the Mentor was rough. I probably want more Mentors in the sideboard, because that just seems to be the plan against every matchup so far. Let's always pivot to Mentor. And I'm going to keep this. We got cantrips, disruption, and 2/3 of the combo. Opponent's on 6 so far. Their username has the word miracle in it. I'm going to try not to get tricked by that. I think I would love to play against miracles, though. We've been playing against just like other combo decks and linear aggro the whole time. Alright, so this is probably Death and Taxes. Build Mishra's Factory Aether Vial. I could force this Aether Vial, or I could ignore the shit out of it and just try to win. I think force is probably better. But what do I pitch? It's Preordain or Brainstorm. I don't think I can pitch the combo piece. Or maybe I do just ignore this card. Like, let them have that, and then I'll fight over their turn 2 Thalia and try to win on the next turn. Let's just find a breach and reward me for my questionable decisions. Okay, that was pretty good. If they play Thalia, I'll force it. So, but finding the fetch land and a removal spell, like Thalia is the card that I'm worried about out of this deck. And sometimes they have Sanctum Prelate also, but that takes some setup. Second Vial. Glad I didn't force the first one. Alright, so if they Vial in Mother of Runes, I'm ready. Orm's Chant and the backup Brain Freeze. Okay, so I don't need the backup Brain Freeze. I don't think I'm going to need Orm's Chant against this deck either. Alright, so I'm going to pass here. I'm going to hold up this Lightning Bolt in case they put in Mother of Runes. Remember how I said I hate losing to Wasteland? Let's see if this comes up. Alright, so now I don't have an answer to Thalia because they can just Vial it in, so Force is dead. Maybe I should have played out my Petal and LED this turn. Try to get ahead of that. Maybe their hand just doesn't have Thalia in it. What are the odds? Okay. They would have put it in on their turn if they had it. Or at least they should have. I don't know their life. Alright, I'm gonna preordain first here. So I'm totally just looking for Breach. Guess I could play Teferi here and just bounce their bigger Vial. Get a little deeper into my deck. And if they Vial in like any creature, my Teferi goes away, but resetting a Vial, getting a card deeper. If they have to spend resources attacking Teferi, it's whatever. It's probably Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. Like, I just don't want to play around Flicker Wisp. Like, that's not something I'm interested in doing. Because they can flicker the Breach, and then you can't Breach anymore. No thanks. Alright, we're reaching the point of the game where my gamble to let them have their Aether Vial and try to win faster isn't working. Our several cantrips have not produced answers that I'm looking for. Alright, so this will be interesting if they want to spend some resources to pick off the Teferi, or if they want to develop their board. I think they can do both, though. They can attack with one of these Mishra's factories and then also put in Sword of Fire and Ice. Alright, see you later, Teferi. Alright, time to draw Breach. Alright, so I'm gonna preordain first. Oh, praise Allah. Alright. Bottom my Oracle, top my Breach. Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, let's just hope that they don't have a 2-drop that kills me. And Lightning Bolt is in my graveyard, so that's something. So if they put in Revoker, what happens? Alright, so I need to make red, red, red right now, I think. Yeah. Revoker and Thalia. This answers Thalia, it answers Revoker. Okay. Alright, problem solved. Alright, so I can pay, get rid of this, this, and this. Bolt the Thalia, and then LED comes back, and then Brain Freeze starts happening, and then we win. Like, even if they can somehow stop this Lightning Bolt, I could pay 1 to recast LED. Alright, we should win now. Alright. Preordain, Brainstorm, Preordain. Lightning Bolt's a good card, just for the record, in case anyone was wondering. Alright, exile 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we're off. Now it's just a matter of clicking through the combo. Unless they like have main deck Fairy Macabre, and also it's their one unknown card in hand. They do get to see my whole deck though, because I know Oracle is on the bottom. Oh, we have the Reclamation. Too bad I exiled Teferi already. That would have been exciting. Alright, this puts my deck in the bin, or it puts my deck except for Thassa's Oracle in the bin. Alright, here's my graveyard. So I can't cast Brain Freeze. I wonder if I could burn them out with Lightning Bolt. I probably can. I wonder if that's just a real line with this deck. I don't even know the answer to that. Alright, so blue, blue, blue. I'm gonna replay LED. Get rid of Brain Freeze, land, Orm's Chant. Alright, so blue, blue, blue. Then I'm going to make white, white, white. I'm going to play Teferi out of the graveyard. Or, nope, I'm going to play Savine's Reclamation for style. Alright, I'm going to target Teferi and LED. Brainstorm, Brain Freeze, Flooded Strand. This doesn't matter. I'm just stunting on him here a little. Why, yes, I would like to return another card from my graveyard. How about this Lion's Eye Diamond? Alright, and then the last card in my deck is the Oracle, and then I win. And they can't do anything because I have Teferi. Alright, that was pretty fun. Found that breach right on time. Alright, so against Death and Taxes, they're going to have artifacts and enchantments that mess with me. They're going to have creatures that mess with me. I'm not sure if I want to pivot onto Mentor. Like, I could pretty reasonably... Like, they're just so infuriatingly fair that... I don't know, like... I guess the question is, what do I board out if I'm boarding in these Mentors? Maybe I don't need the full spread of Wear Tears, though. Let's see what it looks like with them first. So Intuition, Force of Wills, Orm's Chant. Do I even care? So I could just like pivot onto this like totally Jeskai mid-range build with just no counter disruption except removal spells. I mean, that does map out pretty well. I probably want the extra land in this matchup, though. If there's a matchup where this land is good, it's this one. Is Lotus Petal the cut? Though turn 2 Mentor is just wrecked. Or turn 3 Mentor plus several spells. Also really good. Could cut a Brain Freeze. We'll shave on the combo a little bit. Alright, I'm doing this. As usual, no idea if it's right, but it's what I've chosen to do. Well, this is a start. I'm going to keep this and hope they don't have turn 2 Rest in Peace. If I draw Lion's Eye Diamond, I'm pretty sure I just turn 1 them. But I can just go Land, Petal, Breach, LED, Brain Freeze for 1 million. Alright, let's draw Lion's Eye Diamond and turn 1 them. That's how I want to conclude this video. Definitely keeping this hand though, it's great. Well folks, in a shocking twist, seems that my opponent didn't want to show up for game 2. I wouldn't either if I registered Death and Taxes in the Underworld Breach meta. Let's see if we would have won on turn 1. Okay. We did not win on. Alright, so this is the list. The decks, despite the combo being really easy to assemble and pretty deterministic once you're rolling, how to actually pilot the deck is a little bit tricky. As we saw, I wasn't always totally sure what my role should be or what I should be digging for. I definitely want another Monastery Mentor on the board. I think I would just turn a Wear Tear into a Mentor and just be off it. Like, this many answers when I could just kill my opponent. But I like Mentor more than most. But that's probably my next move with this deck if I were to keep working on it. But this deck seems really sweet. really powerful. I don't have the reps in to have an opinion on whether Underworld Breach is bannable or not, but we'll see. Thanks for checking it out. As always, hit that sub button and talk to me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. Happy to talk about Magic anytime. Thanks, and see you next time.